is Shulok. Okay, my name is Shulok, and I'm from Seattle. I work at the University of Washington, and well, I've been working on the HIV/AIDS area for about 28 years, and I'm still trying to learn. Okay, so I'm here for 2 weeks as a visiting professor, and actually this is the first time I don't have to give a lecture. So I'm very happy to be sitting here to listen to you. Okay.
Provides a predictor of the immediate rates for opportunistic illnesses. A normal account of CD4 T cells in the blood ranges from 600 and 100 to 1,000 to 100 cells microliter. So when we have 350 cells microliter in blood, it suggests to start treatment. And when we have a count of CD4 T cells fewer than 200 cells microliter, it's a qualification for a diagnosis of AIDS. And the immune system of its chronic immune activation. It's a fundamental driving force for the HIV-associated immune dysfunction, and an important trigger of immune activation are the type 1 interferons. Then causes of chronic immune activation are virus replication and the resultant immune damage and dysfunction. It's caused by immune activity.
What you said is absolutely right. So the strategy aimed at inhibiting HIV replication should be the primary focus of therapeutic intervention. What do we think about that? I think, to me, that's absolutely true. That has been the primary focus of therapeutic intervention so far.
Yeah.
But if you look at what you said earlier, the immunopathology and so on and so forth, and then you talk about cytokines and so on and so forth, I might add a little bit to it.
Action against this HIV, so we can make sure that the toxicity, side effects of drugs or autoimmunity will reduce, and we can live with and without this virus.
I'm just thinking about one thing for a couple years.
All right, well, let's move to the next person because we still have 6 or 7 people.
Yeah.
So the next person is Asiya Sheikhan.
Okay.
Dear Professor, if you don't mind, I will present this review in Russia, but the text will be in English, okay, for everybody's understanding. So, мы говорим под определенным.
Tremendous amount of information in the field over the last 20 years or so. So that's a tremendous job and good job. That's why.
Потрясающая работа, что ты собрала шумную информацию.
Language is more than difficult. Yeah, from my personal experience.
Any comments, any questions?
Yeah, I also have a comment. I think the lecture was very, very intense in terms of information. There was a lot I had no idea about, and it's really hard to absorb those knowledges from the first time. But the lecture was definitely really interesting, and we went into details. I liked it. But we also have pretty much not that much time to this, so I understand and I appreciate your courage to explain the details, but I would appreciate if you try to go more about main steps, because we'll spend too much time here. We'll be here to actually
I think that's actually a good point. In fact, that is
внутри клетки, вот, как он попадает в организм, потом как бы он...
Here I'm going to tell about the role of dentistry in AIDS, the expanding role of the dentist in the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome era can be classified into 6 issues. First is provision of routine dental care. The second, oral lessons, screening, diagnosis, treatments, and recognition of their significance. Third one is collaboration with other healthcare workers and social support system, education of other healthcare workers, and education in community, and last one is resource to HIV-infected healthcare workers. Here I use this logo because fight AIDS, not people with AIDS, and I think it's a very good logo for this thing. And then here is some changes in our. I think it is not. I will to address it from that angle. I think that's what I've done very well. I will
stem cells, they don't have any receptors, specific receptors, as for example CD4 T cells, and the HIV couldn't interact with these cells with absence of these
cells, and they are still there. So I would say is that
C by effector memory T cells vaccines. And I will tell it in Russian language. Синдром приобретенного иммунодефицита СПИД взял всего лишь.
Yeah. So maybe I will just answer the question. This is what I do usually. Is that
Я задаю вопрос, что я обычно делаю.
what is the bottom line of this paper?
Что основное является в этой статье?
Well, the bottom line of this article is that they produced the vaccine. Maybe they recovered all. They took all 64 months.
The 2,000 mechanism. What's the mechanism controlling the virus replication in those red symbols? Okay. They're talking about maybe it's the effective memory T cells. Did they show that there's a correlation between the ones? To get some feedback from you, from all of you, on two things. Number one is that what is your experience preparing for this journal club, preparing for your presentation? What's good, what's not so good? And if we do it again, how would you do differently? So this is number one question.
Я хотела сейчас сделать такой вот итог. И первый вопрос, на который мы хотели, чтобы все ответили, это какой опыт вы получили, что вы для себя открыли нового, готовясь, что-то было для вас хорошо, что-то не очень, что можно изменить или что-то новое добавить, чтобы провести, например, этот Journal Club еще раз. То, что вы хотели, это первое.
I wasn't presenting nothing, so my experience was slightly different than theirs, but attending in Journal Club was very interesting, and I think journal clubs like this are very important for, I would say, every department in medicine, every department in science field, because in such a way you can talk and discuss different things, not being really formal as you usually are at school or in university classes. And I like how you mentioned that during your journal clubs you have wine in beer and talks and stuff. So I think this format is the best for me, I would say, because when people feel relaxed, they can express themselves easier. When they don't feel like everybody is looking and judging them, they can relax, they can let it go, they can say whatever they think, not being afraid to be judged. And so that was a very important experience for me. I think we should look how you do it and learn from you, you know, like taking things like Journal Club from your university, or like how you do it and apply it here.
Mm-hmm. Good.
May I say?
Yeah.
I think that
we spend too much time, and maybe on the next time we need to talk about less articles, but for example 1 or 2, but much deeper, because some of them have been really interesting, and there's so many things that been written in the article that we didn't mention it even. So I think that maybe a couple hours it's enough, but probably take some kind of big article and make different parts of it for different presentation. And I think that's going to be much better.
Yeah. Any other? Please.
So, first of all, I want to thank you for your attention and for not judging us strictly. And yes, it's really took a long time, but anyway, you were here and listening to us. And as if it is the first time for all of us, it's okay that there is a minus. So it was a big experience for me.
A lot of new information, and it is really interesting for me. And I think this journal club was interesting for everybody here, because we today.
Here there are all volunteer students, and they are very talented, and I am proud of that I am studying here. I am proud that I am studying with them, and I am proud that you all come here and sharing your knowledge. It's not just discussing, it's educating, you are motivating, you are inspiring us. Probably we can be in the top of the mountain like you, and we will do better things, and we will do everything to be smarter than HIV. And this is probably it's a way that you are building for us. And
to take a research article and present the research article and critique it. What are the questions being addressed?
Мы должны презентовать эти статьи, критиковать их, и одно, что должно быть адресовано каждой статье.
Why is it important?
Зачем она вообще нужна?
And how do they address this question? What are the critical results that support their conclusions?
Какой вот именно критический момент в этой статье подтолкнул их к такому или иному выводу?
And what are the implications on future work? Especially important that what is the implication to all of you, what you do?
Что можно сделать потом дальше, какие новые работы, исходя вот из этой статьи?
Yeah. So I think today I think all of you have done a wonderful job as a beginning.
Сегодня вы сделали потрясающую работу как начало.
I would encourage all of you
Я вас хочу всех
to find a way.
Продолжайте, потому что
To find a way to continue.
найдите способ продолжать.
I'm very grateful
Я вам очень благодарен,
to all of you to have this opportunity
что у меня есть такая
to be part
возможность
of this
быть
journal
частью
club.
этого.
So I learned a lot myself.
Я
Thank
очень
you all.
много,
Okay.
выучила очень много.
Yeah.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Конечно.